Yo, how's everybody doing? I'm Exile, and I'm kicking it off the wall at home base. Hot mop. Mop it up. You know what I mean? Clean the floor, get it nice and hot and shiny.
You are now listening to Exile Radio. Don't touch that now.
Well, music has been in my family since my grandfather. He used to play the accordion, he used to teach music, and my father he played all kinds of different instruments. He was in like garage bands in the 60s, pressed up 45s. He also taught music, and even though they weren't in my life as much as my mother was, it was still communicated into my blood, and it was just something I knew I wanted to do since elementary school. I mean, when I first went to like roller skating rinks and seen cats break into electro stuff, I was like just in love with it instantly, and I was, you know, how is this made? And that was just my mission, to figure that out, you know. And I went through the gamut of like holding down tape and phono buttons and scratching on like a Sanyo home stereo system. That's how I learned how to scratch. To pause tape beats, you know, making loops like that to 4 tracks, and then until I just figured out how it was made. And you know, once I did that, and once I grew into it, into now, and what I've learned throughout life, I just want to figure out to add to a good energy that I want to be a part of. You know? I just like the idea of getting to know somebody and trying to help them paint the picture of who they are with my beats. You know? I mean, sometimes when doing hip-hop production, it can be like a kind of impersonal thing, especially now because of the age of the internet. And I just wasn't satisfied working like that. You know, I wanna work with the artist, get to know the artist, and really follow in the footsteps of, you know, my hip hop forefathers, if you will. You know, the likes of Marley Marl to Primo, and I think there's just something more special about a record when you know that the producer was there throughout the whole process, and you can it kind of communicates that there was a chemistry there, and you know, a history. You know, I kind of try to get to know somebody and let them get to know me, and really with my music and when I'm working with the artist, my goal is to try to battle the machine of what a lot of people are making, you know, and what their motivations of why they're making it. And I mean, there's a lot of bullshit out there, you know, and I'm trying to battle that. I'm trying to battle the machine and trying to portray something I believe in, whether it's through my actual words or through who I'm producing. You know, if there's something that they're rapping about, you know, that is a message I really don't want to be a part of, I'll let them know. Want them to do the same for me, like, you know, bring out the good that's in all of us, you know, and try to spread that. You know, I think it's my duty as an artist. When people's motivation was money, you know, and when the picture of the ego was just kind of painted in the music a little bit too much, you know, when the balance was fading away between real artistry and real human, like it's like it's not cool to be human, like in the mainstream, you know. It's cool to be egotistical. It's cool to be really into fashion and like be a fucking asshole. Really, like back what I was saying, like with working with these artists, I feel like it's my duty with hip hop to help redefine what cool is, you know, and make it something that I believe in, you know, which is just working with the ways of love, or, you know, just being you, or, you know, not worried about all that shit, you know. We had a mutual friends, this group called Science Project, and they were trying to sign me and Aloe Black. We had a group called Emanon, and they were gonna sign this artist named Blue and Miguel. I always heard about Blue. Eventually we met, and he had already been a fan of some of my work, and I was working on this Dirty Science record. So we went to the studio and made a record, and after that first record we made, we just started talking about our album and what we wanted it to be, and we just kind of started working on both of the records at the same time. Blue helped me out with the Dirty Science record, and we just had a chemistry for working, and just kept on moving it along until eventually we had both albums finished. The Below the Heavens record? Yeah, I mean, it was kind of incredible because we had no kind of help from our record label at all. I think we had like one like mini ad in a magazine. They really weren't doing anything for us at all. The record was really late. It got leaked first. There was times where we thought we had a classic on our hands. Sometimes we weren't sure. Sometimes we hated the record. Sometimes we loved it. And it was just kind of amazing that it still kind of peeked through the cloudiness of not having proper promotions, and people were able to catch on and kind of just self-promoted itself. Like the music just stood through, and yeah, that was a wonderful feeling that it was so well perceived within the hip-hop community, or you know, independent music in general. Kardinal, Offishall, Jurassic 5, Mobb Deep, 50 Cent, Aloe Black, Fashion, Blame One, Joe Haas, Sean Jackson, Jay Mitchell, Musina, Evidence, Kardinal, Talib Kweli, Guilty Simpson. I mean, for one, the experience was different just because, you know, we were in the studio like night after night, you know, where 50, it was just like a real quick thing, impersonal type of thing. But and it wasn't, I was expecting to work with Fashion. All of a sudden I heard 50 and Mobb Deep were on one of my beats. That was just like a shocker. It was like, oh shit. And then hearing Prodigy's ballsy verse about Jesus on the Pearly Gates joint. At first I was like, I'm going to hell when we talked about punching Jesus, but then I just realized, you know, it's just him communicating his frustrations with where he's at in the world, and if that's what he wants to communicate, I'm all for it, you know. Well, I have a project out right now called Exile Radio, where I sampled everything off of LA radio waves, the drums to the bass lines to the vocal samples. And with that record, you know, I was trying to really just find my voice with an instrumental project, you know, and I just wanted it to be different. And it was a challenge to find my voice within an instrumental project because, you know, it's an instrumental project. I can't really speak on it, but I was able to manipulate talk on the talk radio to communicate a message that I believe in, and also just find people who are already speaking messages that I believe in, but also throw in a little touches of what's negative in the world, because that's just as real as, if not more real than love or whatever, you know. Oh, it's not more real at all. Actually, that's all fallacy. But anyway, Biz Markie, he'd be sitting there. He'd bring his recipe for macaroni and cheese. Who else would we have? We'd have Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane would be there, and hopefully they don't bring that spaghetti that Biz Markie slipped the booger in and picking boogers, because that would be gross. He slipped a little green one inside the spaghetti. Remember that line? We would bring Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is making garlic mashed potatoes with the brown gravy. It's really good too. Yeah. She's a good cuddler. She's all squishy. I love squishy women. Probably bring Kid Frost too. Kid Frost would come down and he would bring tamales. That's the Christmas dish for Latino people. Who else would we have there? Brother Marquise from the 2 Live Crew, and that's it. That's it. He's just bringing a couple freaks and Jello and whipped cream. Or Fresh Kid Ice could come with his broken arm. He's got like a permanent broken arm, but he would just stir the soup, since he wouldn't like bring anything because he probably couldn't carry it. Remember that dude, the permanent broken arm? Fresh Kid Ice, the Asian dude from 2 Live Crew. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I am kicking it off the wall at home base. So we're mopping it up at the home base with frozen tofu. What's up? This is Exile, and I'm kicking it off the wall at home base with a hot mop. No? Sure. You having fun? You like watching this? Who are you? Who is that?
Listening to
Exile, KOG, DSC.
Exile Radio.
You're destroying me. Come here. In here. Find out what it's about. Find out what's going on in here. I want to be able to fly like a bird, swim like a fish, and dig holes like a gopher. I could just dig around, find some stuff in there, I don't know. Maybe just kick it, bring a girl down to the gopher hole, be like, what's up, baby? I can dig mad holes. She might fall in love with me because of that. And then I'll just shoot out of the ground and start flying. I'll be holding her, be like, that's your house down there. And then just go straight down to the ocean, swim around. As long as she's holding on to me, she'll be able to withstand, you know, holding her breath for that long. We'll be like dolphins. Yeah. And we'll make love at the bottom of the ocean.
Love. Let's say it again. Love. Let's say it again. Love. Let's say it again.